How y'all doing today? Good evening, good evening. Today we are going to continue what we were doing yesterday. I think we got to level 36 if I remember correctly. 36, yeah. Our goal is 44. Then we're going to check, see if we can get into an instance to get the currency for the current Hunt Trove event. If not, then we'll have to go to 47. So, yeah. Let me see here. Let me check. Back to square one is what we're on. Let's see here, see here. Hang on a second. I am checking the list of quests. Let's see. Did that one. Because I might just see about... Okay, I'm not seeing it right off the bat. Let's do this. Let's search back to square one. Level 27 quest. Okay. There it is. Okay. Actually, it does look like if we just continue a little bit further down that we will get another quest, or no quest, dungeon unlock, which, if I'm not mistaken, the ones that are currently unlocked are, yeah, 24. A little bit low for 36 to be running. Okay. So, yeah, let's go right on ahead and do some quests and see if we can't unlock the manor, and then, yeah. Alright. So, Thanalan. Sorry, I'm just rearranging things a bit on my second screen here. Got a lot of things going on. Okay. Oh, right. We were talking to the dude. Where's the dude? Ah, okay, this way. Excuse me. Hello, Gundebold. Gundebold says, would that we had more information to offer, but what Will Red told you is the extent of our knowledge of the masked stranger. Left unchecked, that man will bring about great pain and suffering. I pray that you'll find and put a swift end to the creature, for the sake of the young ones who died by his poisoned words. That... yeah. Okay, report to Minfilia. Vesper Bay. We'll use a ticket, because tickets are awesome. Alright. Hey, Totoro. Oh, wait. I can't see where I'm going. There we go. We are entering Minfilia's office. And turn in a quest to her. Minfilia says, "Welcome back, Naira. I'm reliably informed the investigation took you to Quarry Mill and Little Alamigo. So tell me, were you able to learn aught of La Barahea?" And I tell her what I learned. And she goes, planted the knowledge of summoning in impressionable young minds, you say, precisely the kind of deceptions the Asians would employ. While many of the ills that ail the land can be attributed to the calamity, some are being brought about by a malignant will. We must needs delve deeper into this, while things remain quiet on the primal front. Totoro! I didn't know you were even in here. Anyway, Totoro speaks up and goes, "All work and no play makes Minfilia a dull scorpion." Minfilia goes, did you say something? Totoro goes, nothing, my lady. And runs off. Okay. Minfilia goes, mayhap we ought to rest a while before speaking further of the investigation. Quest complete. Okay. Minfilia says, while you're attending to business in Thanalan, some new information arrived courtesy of our friends the Sifs. An individual fitting La Habrea's description has been sighted in the North Shroud. This sighting comes in the wake of a series of mysterious deaths in the self-same area. My instincts tell me that our man is involved. I would have you continue investigation where you left off. 12 willing, we will pick up La Habrea's trail once more. Norexia can furnish you with the details. Pray, speak with her and take it from there. As always, be careful out there, Naira. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I want to check something real quick. Alright, no quests in here yet. Okay. Norexia in a different room in the building as Minfilia's office. Norexia says, Walking One is to investigate Sinister One, then heed well this one's words. This one is friends with a Walking One in the Ashcrown Consortium. According to Friendly One, a Digging One named Medrod had an encounter with a scary masked one. This masked one is most certainly Sinister One. Walking One should go and speak with Digging One, Medrod. Digging One is to be found in Fallgourd Float in the North Shroud. Alright. I don't think we can teleport. Oh, we can. Alright. We'll teleport. Oh, here we go. I just got a pickaxe. Yeah. Alright. Midrod says, please leave me be. I'm not long for this world. Interesting. He continues. I looked death in the face. 'Tis only a matter of time before he comes for me, just like he came for that poor woman. Getting a little bit of narration here. Midred is clearly traumatized. Perhaps if you were to soothe him, he might remain calm for long enough to hold a conversation. Alright, we're going to do the emote. Soothe. Alright. We soothe him. And we go into a cutscene. Midrod says, You're right. It's not as bad as it seems. I saw something terrible, that's true. But that hardly means I'm going to suffer the same fate. Thanks to you, I can think straight again. I believe I can even recount what I saw without losing it. That's good. He continues. It was just an ordinary day. I was headed back to the float when I noticed a suspicious character in the distance, a masked man garbed head to toe in black. He had a hideous fiend in tow, a winged creature that was all eyeball and jagged teeth. Taken by curiosity, I crept as near as I dared. To see the corpse of a woman, one glimpse was enough to tell me that she died a gruesome death. In that instance, I knew right away that the masked man was a minion of Thal, come to claim her soul for his realm. Not sure that's true, but I am investigating this dude. Medrod says, What? You're investigating this same masked man? Yes, I am. Oh, someone else at the table just stood up. She is Aiden, and she says, If that's the case, we'll help you in whatever way we can. Another dude at the same table says, his name is Iveralt. I'm not sure how to say that. He says, anything to ensure we don't have to suffer Medrod's hysteria ever again. Medrod says, Alright, teamwork. That's what I wanted. Wait, I haven't been that bad, have I? At any rate, I'm all for helping this adventure. It's the least I can do to repay her for comforting me. You're welcome. Sweet. Alright. Now I'm going to talk to the lady who spoke up. Aideen says, So, here's what I know about the deaths. All the victims we found with their faces torn to shreds. Among the local fauna, only the scalekin known as Ziz can inflict such wounds. That's why some folk are pointing the finger at them. I somehow doubt that the answer's that simple, but for the sake of thoroughness, we should look into it. Why don't you put down, say, 3 of the creatures and see if we can find any proof connecting them to the deaths? Alright. Let's see. Where do I need to go? Ah, that way. Okay. I see it on my map now. It's probably there the whole time. I'm just blind. Hmm. 1 second. I'll be right back. Yo, ouch. Don't look at me like that. No problem in the doorway either. Thank you. Oh yeah, sorry about that. I forgot to close the door. Alright. Here we go. Oops. I did not mean to do that. There we go. Nice. Back to town? Yeah. I'm just gonna teleport because I'm super lazy. And I can get a drink while teleporting. Drinking mellow yellow. I drink it way too much. Alright, back in here. Alright. Eidine. Hail. Eidine says, "You've already seen to the Ziz? Good work, adventurer. So, were you able to find aught to suggest that the creatures are our culprits?" No, I didn't. Nothing? Truth be told, even if there were proof, I wouldn't know what it looked like. Anyway, I believe we can safely strike Ziz from our list of suspects, which leaves us with the masked man and his winged eyeball. A winged eyeball. Weird. Okay. Eidine says, "There's something else I heard about the deaths. It appears all the victims have been comely maidens. I better watch myself, eh?" Yeah, maybe. Sounds like a serial killer, eh? Eidine continues, "Unseemly Japs aside, there's a rumor been going around. There's some as whisper that after each victim died, her Rancor went into the great big rock southwest of here, causing it to flash and moan." Rancor? "This bears investigating, I reckon. I'm going to give you a fire sand stick to blow off a piece of that crag. The stick doesn't come with a fuse or anything, so you'll have to throw the thing. Once you've torn the rock a new one, bring back some of the fragments. I'll give them a gander." Well, alright. Let's see. Okay. So we can go this way. And then this way. Yep. Just keep running. Just keep running. See, over here. Right here. Still being chased? No. Okay, good. Oh. Huh. Okay. Alright. Two more. Two more. Okay. And sending us back. I don't know. Probably. Back and forth. Yep. Alright, we're just gonna be lazy and teleport. This is gonna get expensive, folks. Cost of convenience. Alright. Two quests? Ayadine, when I turn in my quest, says, most folk are too scared to go within 100 yalms of the Rock of Rancor. Aye, it has a name. But what's a few vengeful spirits to a dauntless adventurer like you, eh? I guess. Though maybe you should have told me that before you sent me out there. Yeah? Ideen continues, huh? Why, these are just your garden variety crystals. 'Tis a bit hard to tell beneath all the dirt and grime, but they're definitely lightning aspected. I almost hate to say it, but that explains the flash in your moaning. Nothing to do with the masked stranger. Looks like you've gone and wasted both your time and a perfectly good fire seeing stick. Oh well. Alright. Now the other guy here at the table, one whose name I'm not sure how to say, let's see. A Viralt, right? Ralt? Something of that manner. He says, there is something you should know. I have been keeping this to myself lest I worsen Medrod's paranoia, but I, too, have seen the winged eyeball. I cannot say whether it was a coincidence, but my sighting took place precisely the same time as Mildred's. I was heading home after a day of digging when a shadow fell over me. Looking up, I found myself locked in a gaze with a giant eyeball. I let out a scream at the top of my lungs and ran without once looking back. This happened at the rocky area west of here in case you had a mind to investigate. Alright. I guess we need to go investigate. Okay, we need to go... Yeah, there. This way, yeah. We'll go this way. Fate. Here we go. Don't see anything weird. Oh, hi. I shall kill you. Boom. Let me guess. I get to go back now. What are you aggroing me for now, huh? I'll teach you a lesson. Yeah. Teleport. Because I'm lazy. Hello, person whose name I can't say. He says, a monstrous bane mite appeared and you slew it. That creature had long been a scourge upon the folk of Fallgourd. Intentional or no, you have done us a great service. You have my gratitude. But this does make me wonder, was it truly a winged eyeball I saw, or merely a trick of light combined with blind panic? There's a such thing as being too rational sometimes. Trust your instincts, yo. Oh, there we go. Like, I can't click on it! Alright, cutscene! We're all at the table, all four of us. Mildred says, there's been no promising leads in the murders. I can scarce get a wink of sleep knowing that the killer is still at large. Judging by your furrowed brows, I take it this sorry business troubles you as much as it does me. The guy who's got the weird name says, I have been pondering my encounter. I was uncertain for a time, but there can be no doubt it was a winged eyeball that I witnessed. It's implausible that I could have mistaken so distinct a creature for a bane mite. Mildred says, but you and I were moons apart. How could we have both seen it at precisely the same time? What's more, our adventurer friend here had a run-in with the bane mite at the very spot you claim to see that fiendish eyeball. Isn't that right? That's correct. A weird name says, there must be an explanation. I know I saw an eyeball with wings. I would wager an apple tart on it. A.I. Dean stands up and goes, oh, he's serious, but listen, mayhap it's not as mysterious as we're making it out to be. There's no reason why there couldn't be... Gods, of course, there must be more than one of the buggers. Ugh, it's so obvious. But then that means, since there have been repeated sightings of these fiends, then there must be even more victims as yet undiscovered. All of them. Gulp. Mildred says, I do believe we're out of our depth. We ought to leave the rest to the expert. He's looking at me. A.I.D. says, yes, we're just civilians after all. A good luck, adventurer. It was a pleasure knowing you. Thanks. Weird Name says, "Well, I burn to know the truth, as some things are best left unknown. Lest you have forgotten, it was at the rocky area to the west that I had my encounter." Should you discover aught of note, you will want to alert the authorities. There is a guard's house nearby. The serpents there should be pleased for any information that pertains to the security of the region. Thank you. That's good information to have. Alright. Let's see. We'll go this way. I'm gonna go up. Does this go up? No. It's over here, down it. Nope, that doesn't go up either. Okay. Maybe this is up. Looks up. There's a bridge. Oh, it says it's down. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, I see it. I don't think I'm supposed to be over here. Where's the corpse? Mangled corpse. A floating eye. Alright. Interacting with the mangled corpse. Alright. Looks like we picked up her corpse. Return. More or less. Might as well. Teleport! Yay! Athermere? Ethelmere says, and he is a serpent sergeant. He says, "Greetings, adventurer. Is there aught I might assist you with?" Yeah. Very much so. Cutscene. Ethelmere says, Cuz be good, not again. No matter how many bodies I see, I cannot seem to get used to the horrid sight. Poor woman. Identical deaths have been reported in the central shroud. While the masked stranger you seek does not seem to feature in any, sightings of the winged eyeball are common enough. The creature appears to be moving the bodies, but to what end, none can say. The victims have all been young women. All are found with their faces mutilated beyond recognition. It's been difficult to identify them so as to notify their next of this button engraved with a lily motif. The very same object was found upon another victim, a family sigil, or that of an organization, perhaps? Uh-oh. Either way, I dare to hope that this find will prove pivotal in solving the murders. Yeesh. Welcome everybody. Feel free to chat, chill, hang out. Yep. Okay, Isomir says, I would have you hold on to the lily button. You will need it to continue in your investigation. Okay, I will tamper with evidence. Ethelmere continues, while it isn't standard procedure to entrust key evidence to individuals, you have proven yourself reliable and resourceful in this matter. I see no reason why you shouldn't carry on your work. Alright, fair enough. If I might make a suggestion, you may wish to take the button to Gridonia and have it examined by Myroni. Mayhap someone in her vast network of contacts can shed light upon its sigil. Okay. Gridonia. Gridonia! Okay. Oh, I know where I need to go. I need to go right over here. I think. Oh, no, I need to go to Old Gridonia. Okay. No, it is where I thought I needed to go. Why is it... Mother Myone says, good day to you, Naira. By your grim expression, I suspect you aren't here for Scotians and herb tea. No. Found this on a murdered woman. Mother Myone says, well, isn't this a lovely little button? The engraving is quite exquisite. Artisan level quality, I would say. Where did you say you found this? On a dead body? Lovely. Anyway, I'm afraid I do not recognize the lily sigil. You will have to find the answer the old-fashioned way, by asking around. You could do worse than beginning with Barnaudet over by the Atherite Plaza. She has a sharp pair of eyes, that one. Alright. Heyo. Bernadette says, "You need help tracking down the owner of a button?" That's certainly not a request I receive on a regular basis. Well, go on then. Show me what you have. Seems to be some manner of decorative button, reminiscent of those worn by the families of old, though I cannot claim to know its sigil. However, I can say with certainty that the white lily is a recurring theme in Gridonian culture. Alas, I do not know who would make a personal sigil of it. If there is a soul in Gridonia who does, it would be Seeing Ghoul over at the Lancers Guild. The woman makes a point of knowing all the citizens on a forename basis. Cool. Alright. To the Lancers Guild. Lancers Guild. There we go. Yay! Alright, there we are. Alright. Seeing Guild says, Bernadette believes I can help you? Well, that is a rather bold assumption to make. I will try to assist. Never you fear. But rather aught comes of this is another matter. Now then, what do you require of me? Have a look at my button. Fascinating. Work of this quality is rarely seen in the hands of ordinary Gridonians. The owner of this button is most certainly well-to-do. You may wish to take your search to the Gentry's ward, northwest of here. Wait, a memory comes to me. Of late, there has been a man who is perpetually seated at the bench by the ward's entrance. His name is Your Sandal, and I distinctly recall seeing a markedly similar button upon the breast of his jacket. I dare say he can tell you a thing or two about it. You're not mistaken. Let's go talk to this dude, yeah? Yeah. Ooh. My mouth is itchy. Oh, just down the way a little bit. Okay. Sprint! Okay. Over the hill and around the corner and far away. Well, maybe not that far away, but... Alright, here we go. Here's our dude. Alright. Your Sandal. Hi. He says, I do not believe we are acquainted. Please leave me to my thoughts. I'm going to hand you a button. Have a look. He says, gasp! The sigil of the D'Artancars family? How is it that you came to be in possession of this button? From the body of a murdered woman, her face. Was it marred in any way? Yeah, it was. I had feared as much. I can no longer fare in ignorance. I shall reveal to you the truth of the deaths, but on one condition. You promise to put an end to my lady's madness and free her from her torment. Oh. Cutscene! Oh, excuse me. Got this itch on the top of my mouth in the back is the worst. Anyway. Your Sendal says, I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gordonia, the Dartankers. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Admandine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed, and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her to regain that which she had lost, so she began the rites of rejuvenation. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew far more gruesome as time went by. Eventually, there came a day when my lady bound one of her maidservants to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bid, obedient servant that I was. But when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was that I left Haukke Manor, my home, for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amandine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavoured to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Haukke Manor, on the western edge of the central shroud. Go now. Go and do what must be done. Alright, sir. I will brutally murder this monster. Alright. I need to go. Bent branch. Yep. Okay, here we go. Hey, how far do we need to go? Okay, we need to go. That says up, so I'm like, do I go up the branch or no? It says it's above me, so I'm gonna go up. Alright. Over, around, switch back. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember now. It's over there in that one weird spot in the corner of the map. Yeah. With all those flowers everywhere. Oh, whoops. Leave me alone. Thank you. Appreciate you. Alright, Manor Gate. We'll storm the castle. Here I come, ready or not. We'll do this with a party. And a queue. Commence. Take a drink of my soda pop. Sody pop. Sody pop pop pop. Ah! He jumps in my face and flies away laughing. That's great. The Black Shroud. Alright. Here we are. We'll disappear that. Who's my tank? There you are. Definitely not a board healer. Not sure if we need these or not. I'd rather pick them up now than have to double back. Alright, gotcha. I'm very intently watching that health bar. Oh, we got ads coming. Get ads, stand on your tank. Gotcha. You're fine. Alright. Oh. Back up, back up. Oh yeah, you could still stun bosses. I don't know why, but it's kind of cool. And dead. And everybody forgets the key. Oh, no, he got the key. Good job. Oh. Damn. Wow. Oh. Yep. That was my fault. Wait, this way. He's doing it again. Really wish I had regen. No, it doesn't mean go super slow. Well, that's what I get for looking at loot. Clearly, he doesn't know what the problem was. Is this the one? Nope. Sweet! Level up. And open the door. Oh. That must be the lady. Does she have a dagger in her back? Yep, that's her. Cast! Yeah, I think we need to kill the handmaiden. I don't remember! Oh. There we go. Okay, I'm done. Oh. Question mark says, darkness is taking root within these halls. Sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irresistible spirit that quickened it to life. Footsteps behind me, and there's two of them. Black-robed, hooded men with masks. Asian of the 12th staff says, "It is a pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You are every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. Asian of the 12th Sword says, "It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire one crystal of light, much less 3. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn." Hyderlin chose well, says the 12th of the staff. Asian of the 12th Sword says, "A pity that your existence is irreconcilable from our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course." I make a face. Step forward. Asian of the 12th staff says, "Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength for Master Lahabarea. That task now accomplished, we take our leave of you." Then why even talk to me? Like, why are you doing this whole scene? Like, why? Asian of the 12th Sword says, "Fare you well, bringer of light." And I walk out of the room. Okay. Back to Gradonia! Woo! Wait, where do I need to go? Lancer's Guild. Okay. Lancer's Guild. Your sandal says, "You are returned! What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Admandine? You must tell me all." So she went so far as to consort with devils. Would that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die in unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore, though misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both. I am an abettor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul." Oh, back to Minfinio. Okay. Aether ticket! Yay! Oof, my foot. Ouch. Okay. I might have to return to those quests, because I think every one of those are, hey Tataru! I think every one of those are, instances. Instance unlocks. Oh, this door does not open. You must click on it. Menfilia says, "Welcome back, Naira. Full glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn in the 12 Wood?" Well, all kinds of things happened. And I killed an evil lady. Menfilia says, "Two of Laha Brea's minions, and they sought to measure your strength by their own admission." The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then. The Ashians have begun to move in earnest. Would that we knew to what end. Yet, I will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scotians are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the three nations to the presence of this evasive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world that the Ashians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet, come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you are ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. Alright. Did she just give me a weapon? Yeah. Oh, no reason not to use it. Pair of steel claws. It's exactly the same as what I'm using. Alright. Summon the others, Menfilia. Everybody is now in her office.
Requests our assistance. Concerning the kobolds they sent such copious notes on, I presume.
Oh wow, that's
Yes.
just Tola's voice?
And no, it has more to do with their findings, which portend a peril far greater than any beast tribe.
What sort of peril?
The worst kind. A tribe of kobolds in the vicinity of Limsa Lominsa has reawakened Titan. Our task will be to slay the primal. The Maelstrom have sworn support for the endeavor. They are no strangers to the havoc kobolds can wreak.
Years before the Grand Company's reformation, two primals, Leviathan and Titan, chanced to converge upon the sea wall, wreaking untold devastation. There, by the grace of the Navigator, were the mercenaries Merlwyb hired able to fend them off. Yet it did not take long for the beast tribes to regroup, and they summoned their primals once more.
Thankfully, their second coming was decidedly short-lived, but that is beside the point. So long as tormented souls will them to exist, the realm will never be rid of primals.
The Maelstrom has kept a watchful eye upon the beast tribes, and the kobolds in particular, ever since. Which brings us to the matter at hand.
Unlike Ifrit, we know scarcely anything of Titan. Unfortunately, the only force known to have bested him, the modestly named Company of Heroes, disbanded 5 years since, and mercenaries are not in the habit of keeping chronicles.
Oh. That does not sound good.
Expect the worst. The Maelstrom's help is of course appreciated, but even if we had their whole armada at our disposal, we could still find ourselves overmatched. A pity the kobolds lack the gentle sensibilities of the sylphs. A peaceful resolution would be more than welcome. The echo will not avail you this time, I fear. If you are to survive, your steel must needs speak for you. No one would think you a coward were you to decline.
Wow, Ishtola. The
So
faith.
you will accept?
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We can't very well send her to Limsa Lominsa without Y'shtola, can we, Minfilia?
Why?
May I ask that of you, Y'shtola?
I never thought it in question.
Ever reliable.
Mm.
Very well. We will spare no effort to win victory. You may count on the full support of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Yay!
And old Naughterfield will aid the fight from afar.
Okay.
Thancred, Ida, go to the Grand Companies. Tell them of our plight and solicit their support. Urianger, send word to the students of Baldessian, and Alfino if you would. Papalimo, compile all the information we have on Titan, little though it may be. You will be apprised of the tactical situation when you reach the Sailor's Ward.
Okay.
Provision yourself for the journey. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Yay, the crystal. Everybody exits the room. I'm still standing there with Minfilia, though. Alright, Lominsa. Alright. Let's go. Okay, where do I need to go? Aft Castle. Of course, it's always the Aft Castle. Okay. Well, oh, shoot. Uh, Ashati? Rahikiti? Rashati Rahikiki says, to business then. It is as we told the antecedent. The kobolds have once again summoned tightened. A little over a moon ago, we began to observe the beastmen moving south in increasing numbers from Gormoro. Our scouts subsequently confirmed the object of their obsession, crystals, fodder for their fell primal. Oh, the commander-in-chief showed up. The admiral. The admiral says, like the ruler of Lomensa Leminskia. She says, thank you, High Commander. You may leave the rest to me. Your deeds bring glory to the Maelstrom. Corporal Wolfenshade. Right. Proud am I to call you one of our own. Forgive the lack of forewarning, High Commander. The Admiral wished to address Naira personally. The commander says, we are no strangers to the conflict. Long have the Sorojin and the kobolds plagued our people, nor is this the first time we have had to address a primal threat. In the past, when the Titan rose to threaten the peace, it was to the company of heroes we turned. But they are long disbanded, and we must look to other brave souls blessed with the strength to face this foe. So, it is that we turn now to the Scorpions of the Seventh Dawn, confident in the belief that you are Lomensa's best hope. Okay. Ishtola says, I hope you are right, yet the situation is far from simple. The kobolds are not prone to unprovoked aggression. Did not the Thalassarkari make a pact with the beastmen that each would keep to their own lands, and that no blood would be shed? And was it not the Lomensians who violated the agreement, dissatisfied with their lot? Shall we then condemn the beastmen for defending their homes? Even a pirate must one day reap what she has sown. Rahikiki says, I would advise you to choose your words with greater care, Lady Yshtola. Commander says, or the Admiral says, stand down, High Commander. She has the right of it. She turns to Yshtola. And the wrong is mine. Freely do I claim it, yet it makes little difference. Remorse will not shield us from the Titan's wrath. Or would you have us fall upon our swords? Yshtola says, my apologies, Admiral. The safety and security of Lomenskia's citizenry are, of course, of paramount concern. Admiral turns back to me. Already I have observed disruptions in the flow of aether further inland. The effects will be felt here in the city ere long. Oh. I'll be right back. I'm sorry about that. Just a little bit of a school stuff for my kids. I'm back now. Alright, so Admiral says, I ask much of you, I know, but the need is great. I trust I can count on you, Corporal? Yep, I can do that. Admiral continues, you have my thanks, along with the full support of the Maelstrom. I await good tidings. And she walks away. Y'shtola says, that the Kobolds should summon the Titan demonstrates they are no longer amenable to negotiation. This being the case, we must needs prepare for conflict. Before we meet the Titan in the field, however, it would be wise to learn all we can of our foe. And I can think of no better source of information than the mercenaries who defeated him once before. Rahiki says, the company of heroes may be no more, but several of its former members still live. It is said that one of them is employed by the Grey Fleet Mills. Is employed at the Grey Fleet Mills in Lower Lanuskia. Y'shtola says, quite. Why a missionary should choose to become a miller, I do not know. When you find him, mayhap you could ask him for me. I, meanwhile, shall seek his fellows. Alright. Oof. Nope. 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 Ooh, we're in for a walk. Yes, we are. Well, I think we'll go ahead and leave off here and go ahead and come back later. So, yeah. Y'all have a good one. Rest in peace and have fun with your treasure trove. Yeah. See you later.